Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview. This time covering VCT Americas Stage 1 for playoffs. My guest at this time is JonahP of G2 coming off of their match against Sentinels in which they came out on the lose again, losing 2-1 to thus go down into the lower bracket, but still have another chance to compete in said playoffs and also try to compete in Masters Toronto simultaneously. And so Jonah, thank you so much for the opportunity. It sucks to come off of this with a loss, and especially in that manner, losing 13-11 after having a pretty a valiant comeback effort. But still, I gotta ask you, what was the thought process? What was the mindset of the team as you guys were walking off off the stage with the result at hand?
Um, we had a team talk, and we're all fine. Like we're all feeling fine. Obviously, not happy with the result, but I think it just came down to hero plays and better individual moments from Sen today. But going into halftime down 10-2, lose pistol, and everyone knew like we're instantly thinking about heretics. We're still not out of it, and just the fact that all five of us. I'm sure Josh, but he used all his tax, so we didn't know. But all five of us believed, force by convert the anti-eco, and we honestly we had it. We had it from the second we won that second round. Our comms were insane, and we only had 2 rounds on attack, which definitely hurt us. But like I said before, we lost I think probably five clutches, five or six. I wouldn't say they were easy clutches. They were tough, but yeah, I think it just came down to being unable to convert a couple of those rounds on attack. Our goal is always to aim for 3 or 4 rounds. Even it sounds bad to say, but we know we can always run it back. And yeah, we just didn't meet that. And yeah, but going back to the original question, we're feeling we're still confident in our team play, and we just gotta show up tomorrow.
Yeah, obviously, knowing this team, you guys have the capability of bouncing back and with immediate effect, and obviously, with the main focus onto map 3 and how that went down. I gotta point over to that first and foremost. You kind of mentioned about the 2-10 opening half on attacking side. Normally, when you guys play on the set, attacking side is like the strongest side in which you guys win the vast majority of the rounds. And so, looking at how Sentinels was playing, with all the clutches and all of the team play, it kind of threw a wrench onto like the expectations of how that map would go down at first. And so, you kind of mentioned it right then and there, but still, I want to ask you just sort of like, how did the clutch losses and the Sentinels' subsequent winning of the ensuing rounds on defensive side led to just like the 10-2 half, and how tough of a hole it was for you guys to try to claw yourselves out of it?
Yeah, I think they definitely won a lot of clutches, but even being able to play out those clutches, our positions weren't that strong. Yeah, I would say it was very heavily favored for Sen today in all those clutch moments, and that just comes down to us being quicker on our decision making. Start of the game, my util could have been used a lot better, and I was definitely going too fast for Giacomo, because normally the way he finds his success in entry is when my util or Valen's util or Trent, anybody's util's on point. And today I think I was jumping the gun a lot. I wasn't like giving time for him to basically call for it, or just me recognizing his position if he's even ready. So it's definitely my fault for attack. Just failing to get Giacomo active, and I was able to do it on defense though. So I took that self takeaway on attack going to the next half, and I just had to, my firepower is not the best right now, so I have to step up in other aspects, and I was happy with that. And then it just came down to the ending, of course, where Sen made a a lot of good plays, getting in our face. In like man disadvantages, we had the upper hand on them, but they did a really good job at finding the trades and making even ground, and that's where we crumbled at the end.
In a lot of ways, the I'm not sure how the saying goes, but basically the same thing that affected you guys early on in that map kind of reared its ugly head once again at those last two rounds, and obviously tough way to go down, but it's such as the way you guys have another day and yeah, have another chance of doing well in playoffs. And so, I mean, now looking over to the entire series overall, with that in mind about what happened in the set, and now adding into what happened in Icebox, what do you feel was the biggest obstacle, more so the biggest reason as to why G2 you guys weren't able to come out of this on top?
Yeah, for Icebox, after a pretty dominant win on Split, we started pretty slow down 0-3, and then we picked up our microcoms, and then we just were on the same page always, like clearing our corners, making sure nothing goes unchecked, and it was basically it just felt natural and flow state for us doing that on our split attack. And then for Icebox, we would get the opening pick a few rounds, but then we were just fall into like a hero play from Bang. Bang was frying us, especially on A site. We would go too quick, or we wouldn't mind our gaps, what's clear, what's not clear, and those little mistakes costed us that map, I would say. And yeah, they swapped up their comp. They brought in Gecko. I think they played KO before. And yeah, they just had a lot of util. They had pretty well drilled trap play setups, and it just came down to their big successful trap plays and us just lacking taking our time and clearing everything together.
Yeah, and with that said, now you guys have to move on and try to refocus onto your next match, which is against I believe 100 Thieves. Let me just double check one more time. Yes, it is against 100 Thieves, and so in a lot of ways, it's kind of a rematch from postseason wise. I believe Stage 1 finals. I'm not sure. I can't remember if you guys were able to face off in Stage 2 playoffs. But nevertheless, going back into that. What are your thoughts on that potential match? Well, not really potential, but actual matchup that you guys have, and the challenge of having to move on from today, regroup, look at what 100 Thieves have been doing, and face them.
Yeah, I think the challenge of moving on and regrouping from today, I feel like has already happened. We just talked for 20 minutes together, and we all came to a conclusion. We played pretty good, considering the outcome, and there's a lot to take away from it, and we all have stuff to take away from. So going into 100 Thieves, the issues we had today with not clearing our gaps, taking care of hero play potential, and being on the same page, that is something we need to fully focus on for tomorrow against 100 Thieves, because everyone knows how they play. They're very disruptive, get in your face, run it down. And so it's just going to come to that. And if we take care of that, we should come out with the dub tomorrow.
Oh, for sure, and obviously, you got another day, another chance to continue this journey in playoffs, and hopefully, also move on to Masters Toronto. So that obviously it's going to be the name of the game for this G2 squad, and obviously that will be the mindset you guys will carry forward into tomorrow. And so that said, I'm going to have to wrap up the interview right here. Jonah, really appreciate the opportunity, the insight onto what happened today from your point of view. Really appreciate that as well, and of course, best of luck for tomorrow.
Thank you, appreciate it. It's nice talking to you.